Hey, what's up? What's going on? So happy Friday. Um, don't know how happy it is for some. Probably some more than others. So I figured what we could do. I got back early today, like hella early today, considering I know we missed the majority of this morning or the AM session, as it were. It's about 11:22 right now. So what I wanted to do is just kind of go back to yesterday and the overnight, and then kind of evaluate moving forward. Not so much this is what we could have done, blah 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 blah. Like it's possible, but I just want to see what the price action was like. So we're on a five. Kind of like I said, I'm gonna kind of go back to the overnight. So this would have been, let's see, that's right at 7. Okay, so this was the close yesterday. So 6:15, or excuse me, not 6:15, 4:15 close, and then this would have been the open. So this would have been our buy side because everything cleared short. That's 640. So I'll just take basically six to seven. So so that's the low, that's the high, and the other thing that I want to do here is we'll mark out basically our sessions, which will kind of help. So we can see obviously that the initial opening range for post Globex was the sell side that was taken, and let's just mark out basically our Asia, which would be to here. So that's going to be our Asia session. Excuse me. Just make that top low like that. And then we've got 225. Okay. So this I would look at. So I would look at this as not having taken out Asia high, but that's just basically going to be um, two session liquidity, buy side liquidity, or relative equal highs for two sessions. But obviously London takes out Asia session low, so yeah, I know hindsight. Everybody be like, oh, when you're looking back, it's already happened. I mean, it is what it is. Relative equal high, you take out previous session low in this session, so then there's that. There's also again the buy side from opening range back here. This is going to be, and this is where maybe it'll you'll be like, what the hell? But what time is that? 7:12. Okay, perfect. So I would mark this as the reason that I mark it this way is even though it's not 12:19 and it's 12:20. This is the point in which price basically turned around. We already know that this is going to be a liquidity point. It is a low, but it happens between sessions. So this is like 7:20. So it's technically it's like a pre New York Open. But yeah, that's just how I like to mark mine. People mark out their things a little bit differently. So that's just the weird nuance of me. Okay, so now we'll go into the pre 8:30, which is gonna be a little interesting here. So that is actually 8:30 there. So I would say I kind of want to change these colors too. We'll just make them yellow. It's gonna be $35. Okay, so that is that 35, 30. Okay, so this now I'm just gonna kind of get rid of that. So typically, and I know again, hindsight, I already know, but um there are gonna be a couple more factors in here. That's 10. So this is actually also gonna be bup, 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 bup. You're like, you and all of these cat darn rays, man. Yeah, me and the rays. That could be blue. Actually, I think I already have that. It's a candle range high, so that's what that's gonna be. Because it's gonna be 9:35, and basically 10 o'clock happens inside of that. So this is gonna be my high. Theoretically, this is actually gonna be my candle range low here. So I can just clone this and pull this all the way down. We're gonna basically have uh, that manipulation sell side, which I can actually just take off. I don't have to leave that on because we kind of know what this is. Um, it'll serve a dual purpose. So I'll get rid of that. And this will be my candle range low. I gotta change the date. 12:20. I mean, obviously the buy side's already been taken. Excuse me. Okay. So honestly, at this point, um, yeah, there would have been a lot of presumption, honestly. Um, Presumption in the fact that we were going to take the opposing side. So yeah, today would have been a little tricky, but um, we've been one sided since Monday. Wednesday initially, and I could say this like even though it would be hindsight, but I said it before. I have no problem saying it again. I actually thought Wednesday was going to put in basically the low of the week. There was a small amount of retracement, and then Thursday in a gap, and then basically like the Thursday continuation, almost in terms of the sell off. So you you could have been on the side of today being the close back inside, which is kind of what we're getting right now. Um, and having said that, like this manipulation from the overnight and then the pre New York session, like I said, it wasn't going to be like a slam dunk. Like once this came down and we got into the pre 8:30, that this move couldn't have been, say, like a Judas if it was going to come up. Um, Again, the presumption was running the sell side from yesterday's opening range short, the continuation short. Obviously, retail was going to funnel in thinking, oh my God, the sky's falling. So as they funnel into the shorts, what's the best thing to do? What's happening today? But then you also would have had like the 6 p.m. buy side that's still like untouched, untapped. You have a manipulation end inside here, which aligns with today's 6 a.m. candle range low for the day. So yeah, all buy sides been taken for both sessions. The relative equal high, the 6 a.m. candle um, at 10 whatever this is 10:05 clears out pre-London and pre-Asia overnight session buy side liquidity levels. Um, this is going to be our CE or consummate encroachment of today's new day opening gap from Friday's regular trade hour close. The other thing that we're going to get in here is this is 950. I'm not going to mark this out because it's just one more set of rays and whatnot that don't necessarily need to be on here. I can actually get rid of this now. That can come off. Um, this session liquidity has also been satisfied, so that can come off. All right, those can come off. And what is this? It's a 9. That could come off. And this would be again liquidity from 9:30 open yesterday to see if this was taken. This fair value actually held. This was prior to this move down. So I'd drawn out fair value back here just to see, and we had a movement away. This was, yeah, so we can get rid of these sessions now. Kind of want to hold on to this. Well, we don't actually need to because now that buy side's been run out now here too. And now we're back inside of, I believe we're back inside another range. I can go ahead and take this off because that's buy side that's been taken. So you might be saying to yourself, okay, so what would we be looking at right now, or what are we looking at right now? At this point, not, I would say not a whole lot. So this is going to be your initial balance low. It's a 950. This is a 1030, which is perfect. So your initial balance, well, I can mark it out. I did say I wasn't going to, but I got rid of some of the other rays and whatnot on here. We'll just make them gold. Let's do 1220. Initial balance, buy side. which is what this was, but that's been run out. And then you're going to have here. Sell side. It's bottom. Okay. Okay. So if you're looking at this and you're like, okay, how is this actually setting up? Like, I don't like if you're looking at it like you don't know, right? So here's your candle range. So that's one parameter that you could be looking at a closure back inside. The initial balance manipulation leg is still being carried out here for the buy side. So again, same dynamic. You could wait for a closure back inside the initial balance from today to target the opposing side. You're also looking at an 830 buy side, sell side liquidity from today. So each one of these is a I guess you can call them like a fixed liquidity target that you could look to take advantage of. Let's go ahead and jump up to a 4 hour here real quick and see how this looks from a higher time frame perspective. And this is one of the reasons why annotations, in my opinion, are always a good thing, regardless to the whom and what. Let me lock this right now. I don't want anything to slide or what have you. So that is a 2, 10. Okay, so yesterday's 6 a.m. 4 hour candle, that's been cleared. That was this. So that's Thursday. So we still need Wednesday cleared. Tuesday, and obviously Monday is a daily candle range I've got set up here. So that's the 11th. Let me go back to the 11th. I'm trying to see what that range was or was. Is it a weekly? I don't know what that is. I might just have to take it off. It was related to something. I mean, I know I wouldn't have, put it on if it was just a random. I don't do random. That looks like that would have been like a 6 a.m. something from the 11th. But, oh well. No longer. We'll just take it off. I mean, this is the 6. Wait. I mean, it's irrelevant, really. It is. Because if this is the 6 a.m. from the 11th, we took the buy side, and Wednesday closed right through it. So yeah, that can come off. So there's nothing there. All right, and so you can actually see what we started out talking about here. I'll get rid of all the annotations. So again, this was Monday. Right, Monday cleared previous Friday buy side. It's Tuesday, closed inside of Monday. Okay, Wednesday initially, like before we got the bottom that fell out back into fair value back here. We had a little bit of movement, and then Powell said what he said, and then obviously there was more downside to get to. But see, here's the thing, and this is one thing that I like to kind of mention, and it makes sense from a technical standpoint. It makes sense, right? When you and we're on a daily, so you can actually see this. When you get these massive run-ups, at some point there's got to be a correction. Right? So back in July, we had this run up to all-time highs at that time, and then we get this sell-off, right? All the way into August, right? From July 11th to the 5th of August. So you get this retracement, right? To ultimately do what? From the 5th of August to 11th of November, which then gives you another all-time high. And then we get a smaller retracement to what? Another all-time high, 16th of December. That was Monday of this week. So here's my point. The sky might actually be falling. It may be. But for right now, at least for the foreseeable future, like that's not exactly what's happening. Now this is setting up to where it could. And then just looking at this from a daily perspective again, which is kind of why I don't want to say I titled the live stream the way that I did, but we're now moving into an area of fair value on this weekly from Thursday to Tuesday. So how much further up are we going to come? Is this going to, now present the fact that you've taken internal range liquidity? Are we now seeking the opposing side? We could be, right? Thursday's daily candle has been completely wiped out. So you've taken sell side and buy side liquidity. But what have you also taken? You've also taken Wednesday's sell side liquidity. So now, again, just based upon what? Candle range theory, what are you potentially looking for here? Well, I'd be looking to take Wednesday buy side liquidity. I'd also be looking to take Tuesdays and Monday's buy side liquidity. Why? Because those are the liquidity points just within a candle range perspective that are still yet to be taken. There's inefficiency that's in here, obviously. There's fair value that has to be gathered. So, again, there's an upward target. However, from a structural standpoint, you could say that, yeah, this is a bullish move. We're in bullish territory. Right? This is a retracement back into what? Areas where there was fair value. All right. This wick brings you back into fair value and potentially an order block, a bullish order block. But you've also potentially, and again, this is just how sometimes you have to weigh the pro and the con. This is a low, right? That's been attacked within fair value. So that low's been run, right? Could you say that's a break of structure? You could. But if we get this closure back above, is that still a break of structure? Yeah, it is. It is. If price holds in this fair value, even looking at it from a candle range theory perspective of a closure inside and running the buy side liquidity, you'd still have to kind of just take a look and see what happens in here, right? You'd have to see what happens. Like I said, that's still going to be interesting. So, I mean, technically we have the remainder of the day, but I don't know how much of a participant that I would really want to be today, especially going into the afternoon. And that coupled with the fact that Christmas is next Wednesday. So when you want to talk about the scenarios and the times and the likelihood of just kind of packing it in for the year, I mean, are there still going to be positions to have? Is there still going to be some level of gain? Yeah, I mean, it exists, but what's the risk, right? What's the upside versus the downside risk? What's the risk? So yeah, there's that. Drop back down to 5 and see what we got in here. So yeah, not really much to do right now. Not much to do at all. So I don't know, maybe we'll jump on a little bit later. It's about 11:48, so we're gonna go into lunch hour. So I would more or less anticipate, at this point, more or less, some level of a run on this morning's liquidity. So we're just presuming right now. So maybe just back inside your initial balance buy side liquidity. That's about 50%. Literally. If this is the hold, then we don't really put in like another high here. Just below this small range, like right here, is about 50% of all of the AM liquidity that's been created. So yeah, you've got fair value, you've got fair value, you've got fair value. Yeah, that could have been your breakaway there. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. You could see this come back in and then drop, maybe drop. You come back up and finish somewhere in here. Yeah. Open, low, high. Yeah, you'll probably get. We're gonna get a closure somewhere in here, either just above the initial buy side or just inside the initial buy side. And then that higher time frame area of fair value that I was talking about on the 4 hour and the daily, that may persist through. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not saying it will, but I wouldn't be surprised if that didn't persist through, say, next Thursday, which will probably be maybe a modified trading day because it's the 26th, and then going into next Friday, which, again, it's the holiday, so volume is not going to be as great, but with lack of volatility, with little to no economic news, you'll have data, but with little news, unless there's an opportunity for composite operators to take something that's on the table or to set something up for 25. Yeah, not too. I'm not sold, or I'm not too moved on the idea that that's going to be resolved within, like, say, the next week or so. So yeah, so that'll do it for right now. Like I said, we'll probably jump back on maybe a little bit before 2 p.m. and see what the market gives us this afternoon. So I'll see you guys later.